Living water, a creativity practice for your Lenten season. Now, what does creativity have to do with Lent? Lent is the season of self-reflection in hopes of deeper connection with God. And when we create, we go inside. We get better acquainted with our true self. And at the same time, we're connecting with our Creator. We're all children of a great artist. Hi, I'm Dr. K.P. McKee, founder and executive director of A Spacious Place Creativity and Spirituality Center. So let's get to today's spiritual practice. And as I'm going through this, please feel free to share your comments and questions. We want this to be a dialogue. So we're going to do living water today. And the first thing we need to do is take a look at our supplies. The first thing you're going to need is Gospel of John, chapter 4, verses 5 through 42. John 4, 5 through 42. A glass of water for sipping. Some thick white paper, preferably watercolor paper if you have it. Watercolors. A pot of water for painting. A paintbrush. And then you'll need a white crayon or a white oil pastel, or in a pinch, a white candle will do. If you have it on hand, just an extra thing that's good to have is a squirt bottle. Not necessary, but nice to have. So let's get ready for our taking in of Scripture now. Just take a sip of water. Get yourself comfortable in the space where you're sitting. You're going to have your scriptures close to you so you have them within easy view for reading. And let's move your breathing from high up here in your chest, that's where we breathe when we're feeling anxious, down to your lower abdomen, what we call belt buckle breathing. And you can feel yourself relax. So take a few of those breaths. Now, whenever you're ready, you're going to read chapter 4, 5 through 42, once through, just getting an overall sense of the storyline. And just sit with that for a bit. Take yourself another sip of water and get ready for your second reading. Now, this time, as you read, imagine yourself as one of the characters in the story. What are you thinking? Feeling? What do you see? What do you hear? And at this time, don't worry about imagining yourself in the person of Jesus. Jesus came to give us a glimpse into the mind of God. So by standing for a time in Jesus' shoes, we're doing exactly what Jesus hopes for us to do. And if you're a person who enjoys writing, after you've done that read-through, that might be a great time to sit down and write it from the perspective of the person you've imagined yourself to be. After a third sip of water, let's do one more read-through. And this time, read through imagining what for you right now at this place on your Lenten journey is living water. What would be refreshing, cleansing, renewing, clarifying? Notice those things that leap out at you from the text. And after you've refreshed yourself with some water, it's time for us to begin our art project. So you are going to take your crayon if you have it, and you're going to draw onto the paper words or images or a combination of both that for you would be living water right now. I'm just going to do a little bit with these three different types of media I have here on hand so you can get a sense of how this works. Will you be able to see this easily? No. Part of the surprise here is not knowing exactly what's going to come of what you're working with, much like the work of faith. So I have started this one and just added a few more pieces to it so that you can see how this works. If you hold your piece up to the light, you can begin to see. Now it is time for us to apply the water.
So what you're saying is it doesn't have to be perfect when we're putting down the images on the paper.
Yeah, in fact, the point is not to worry about that. The point is just to be in the moment of creating and let yourself put onto the paper whatever comes to you without worrying about it being perfect. That is the worst thing you can do for yourself. If you have a spritz bottle, this helps move things along with the water because it will help it flow. And as you're doing this, you can think about all the things that water does for us.
I notice we can begin to see some of the crayon and pastels once you applied the water.
And the science behind that is the fact that water and oil do not mix. And all three of these media involve oil. The beauty of this practice is in its surprise. In noticing how the colors meld together and form patterns that we did not expect. Letting go a little bit and just letting things be, whatever they are. I'm enjoying using these cool colors because it feels to me like living water. But for you, it might be a different combination of colors. This act of creating is itself a prayer because you're tuning into yourself and you're tuning into God at the same time. And I used a mixture of words and images that were meaningful to me.
Does the brushing remove any of the crayon or acrylic?
Well, generally it does not. I think the thing to remember as you're applying is that the thicker you apply your pigment, whatever the wax pigment is, crayon, oil pastel, candle wax, whatever, if you want it to really stand out, you will do it thicker or maybe go over it. And if you like it to be a little translucent with the water, then you're going to make it thinner.
Gina told you hi.
Hi, Gina. All right, I'm going to turn this around so you can see it. And once you have finished your art piece, I'm going to set this water on here so that the one thing about watercolors is it helps to have something to flatten them out after you're done. Sit with it for a while. Is there anything here that surprised you? Anything that brought clarity to you about what for you is living water? Any insights into the scriptural text? So if you found this practice helpful, we'd love to see versions of your work. But also, we will be back on Palm Sunday, March 25th, the same time, 2:30 Central Daylight Time. And also, we would just ask that you like us on Facebook. You can go to our website, www.aspaciousplace.com. spacious.com. Sign up for our newsletter. See what else we have going on. We'd love to hear back from you. Let's close with prayer. Jesus, you asked us to bring to you our thirst. And we just ask you that you infuse every cell of our being with your living water, that we can live robust lives of hope for you. Amen. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. See you next time.